Okay, hopefully the screen is visible to all. If I am not wrong, just let me know if the screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just revise the types of guidelines. Okay, I'll just go back. Okay, we'll start from here only. Okay, so the types of WHO guidelines. So the guidelines which are laid down by WHO. First one was the rapid advice guidelines. Emergency cases में WHO guidelines recommend करेंगे. Second is the standard guidelines. Third is the full guidelines. Fourth is the compilations of guidelines. That is the compilation of all the current recommendations. The next is the WHO pharma guidelines. Okay, so these are the 5 main types of guidelines that we had studied yesterday. Under WHO pharma guidelines, we saw development guidelines, inspection guidelines, production guidelines, and QC guidelines. All right. So the 5 main types guidelines and WHO pharma guidelines के under हमने और 4 types of guidelines हमने कल पढ़े थे. Okay, and then I guess हाँ, हमने सब देखा था. So I'll just give you a gist of it. Rapid advice guidelines is produced in response to public health emergencies. Then the standard guidelines is produced when a member country will request for a guidance in regard to a certain situation that they do not know how to respond to it or handle it. The example was treatment of postpartum hemorrhage. The third kind is the full guidelines, wherein they will give complete coverage or complete set of recommendations regarding to a particular health topic or disease. Please, जो भी unmute है अपने आप को mute करो. Someone's unmute.
आता तिसरा लेक्चर चालू झाला.
Right. तिसरा लेक्चर चालू झाला आहे आणि तुम्ही म्यूट नाही आहात. Please mute yourselves. I have to go all the way back. Okay. ठीक है. अपने आप को unmute मत करो गलती से भी. Okay. हाँ. So the example in full guidelines is guidelines for dengue fever. So if you Google, अगर किसी ने किसी को time मिला होगा कल या आज के दिन में, and if you try to check Google it, the guidelines for dengue fever or guidelines for HIV/AIDS or guidelines for tuberculosis, you will come across a complete PDF where they will give you all recommendations regarding right from the diagnosis, right up to prevention, cure, and treatment and everything. Okay. The next kind was, did my laptop hang? Okay, Sushma, you have unmuted yourself. Please अपने आप को mute रखो. अपने आप को unmute कोई भी मत करो. It disturbs. Okay. The next one was compilations of guidelines, which will contain all your current recommendations. For example, recommendations regarding COVID-19, like how to wear the mask, when to wear the mask, guidelines regarding or recommendations regarding mass gatherings, regarding traveling, regarding fitness, training, exercises, etc. Next is your WHO pharma guidelines, wherein we saw development guidelines with respect to development of generic pharmaceutical products, development of pediatric medicines. Inspection guidelines with respect to inspection of pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities, for what reasons, and monitoring the distribution channels. General guidance on hold time studies, guidelines for drafting the site master file, inspection of drug distribution channels. Then production guidelines with respect to GMP. So whenever a manufacturing facility is set up, they have to comply with GMP in order to produce their pharmaceutical products. All right. Then under that, there are n number of guidelines like WHO GMP for sterile pharmaceutical products, for biological products, herbal products, heating, ventilation, etc. Then we saw QC guidelines, under which we would be studying in depth in the further lectures, where we will be studying the basic tests that are carried out on drug dosage forms, like both liquid as well as your solid dosage forms. ठीक है, इतना कल हमने कवर किया था. आज हम लोग क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं? We are going forward with pharmacopoeial standards. Okay, before I start that, I'm going to have to remove whoever is unmute. Divya, is there a problem? सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है या कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या? सुषमा, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट क्यों कर रहे हो? And even Sapna, why are you guys unmuting yourself? Is there something you want to talk about? Sushma, please answer.
नो मैम, मैं अनम्यूट नहीं कर रही हूँ, मैं म्यूट ही हूँ. पता नहीं आपको ऐसे क्यों लग रहा है.
आपका म्यूट अनम्यूट कैसे हो रहा है अगर आप नहीं कर रहे हो तो? मैं यहाँ से
पता
म्यूट
नहीं.
कर, मैं यहाँ से मैं होस्ट होकर म्यूट कर रही हूँ आपको. यू आर गेटिंग अनम्यूट अगेन. Okay, let's just try. I'm muting you now from my side. ठीक है? All right. So we are moving on with towards the pharmacopoeial standards. So what do you mean by pharmacopoeial standards? Pharmacopoeial standards will help ensure the quality and safety of essential medicines by providing analytical methods and appropriate limits for testing and assessing the APIs, excipients, and finished products. So there are certain standards which are called as pharmacopoeial standards, okay, which when followed and referred to will ensure that the essential medicines that we consume, all kind of medicines that we consume, all those are safe and they're efficient as well as they're of standard quality. Okay, so how is it ensured that the medicines that हम लोग जो खाते हैं या पीते हैं वो सारे safe है और अच्छे quality के हैं? The pharmacopoeial standards are providing analytical methods and appropriate limits for testing and assessing the APIs, excipients, and the ultimate the finished products. So pharmacopoeial standards जो basically होते हैं, they are just n number of tests and methods. For example, if you talk about analytical methods, they will tell you ki how to actually make a particular drug. And when you follow that exact method like a protocol, the final drug product that you get is going to be of good quality as well as going to be safe and is going to be efficient. When you talk about limits for testing, every drug or every product market mein aane se pehle, it has to undergo n number of tests. Okay, for example, if you talk about a drug, it should contain the API in a certain limit only. It should contain the excipients also in a certain limit. It should not ideally contain impurities, but if it contains impurities, उसमें impurities भी एक particular limit तक ही होने चाहिए. तो ये सारे जो limits होते हैं वो हमें हमारे pharmacopoeial standards देते हैं. ठीक है? So far is it clear pharmacopoeial standards क्या होता है? Hopefully it is. Pharmacopoeial standards are compliance requirements. That is, they provide the means for an independent judgment as to the overall quality of an article and applied throughout the shelf life of a product. So whenever अभी मेरा suppose एक मेरा एक pharmaceutical manufacturing facility है, ठीक है, एक unit है जहाँ पे मैं medicines या एक type का medicine मैं produce कर रही हूँ. If I am following my pharmacopoeial standards, it is going to give the overall quality also of a standard quality drug. Okay, and that same thing is going to be applicable through the entire shelf life of the product, like right from its manufacturing date right up to its expiry date. वो वैसे का वैसे ही रहेगा. उसमें जो भी contents है, मेरे drug में जो API है, जो excipients है, और मेरा जो ultimate final product है, it will remain the same right from the manufacturing date up to your expiry date when I follow my pharmacopoeial standards. Okay. The next topic that we come to is introduction to pharmacopoeias. Now, what exactly is a pharmacopoeia? Pharmacopoeia, the word is derived from two Greek words, pharmako meaning drug and poia meaning to make, means to make drugs. ठीक है, pharmacopoeia का मतलब क्या होता है? it is basically a document which, when you follow, will help you make a drug or a medicine. It is a legal and official book issued by recognized authorities, usually appointed by the government of each country. Okay, so it is legal and it is official. So if me being an organization or a pharmaceutical company, when I follow the pharmacopoeia of my particular country, then I can, that book is legal, it is official, and वो book रेफर करके जो भी उसमें protocols procedures दिए हैं, मैं वो सारे follow करके मेरा एक medicine मैं बना सकती हूँ. ठीक है? It contains a list of pharmaceutical substances, formulae, along with their description and standards, directions for identification of samples, and preparations of compound medicines. तो मेरे pharmacopoeia में क्या क्या होता है, जितने भी pharmaceutical substances होते हैं, जितने भी, all your chemical substances which are of a pharmaceutical standard, it will contain all of that. और हर एक substance के साथ, for example paracetamol हो गया, पैरासिटामोल रहेगा, नाम रहेगा, उसके नीचे उसका सारा डिस्क्रिप्शन रहेगा, लाइक उसका मॉलिक्यूलर वेट रहेगा, ऑल ऑफ इट, लाइक हाउ डू आई टेस्ट it in my drug, or how I can use paracetamol to make my drug. It will give me steps to identify paracetamol in a particular sample. It could be any sample, a drug or a food or anything. And it will also help me prepare compound medicines. That's what your pharmacopoeias basically contain. So the descriptions of the preparations are called monograph. Pharmacopoeia is a book. Okay, for example, this is my book and ये है मेरा pharmacopoeia. All right. And उसमें अगर, for example, since this is my pharmacopoeia, I have a particular, say, drug over here. It's just an example. For example, यहाँ substance, एक chemical substance है named paracetamol. तो यहाँ पे heading में paracetamol आएगा, और नीचे ये जो एक पैराग्राफ तुमको दिख रहा है वो हो जाएगा तुम्हारा मोनोग्राफ. ठीक है, इतना छोटा नहीं होता है. I have a sample. I will show you that in the further slide. So a pharmacopoeia is your book, and inside your pharmacopoeia you have n number of monographs, and every substance that is listed in your pharmacopoeia is going to have a monograph. Your monograph will contain all the descriptions regarding that particular substance. So what a monograph actually includes, it includes the name of the ingredient or the preparation. So if it is just about paracetamol, it will have the heading paracetamol. If it is a preparation, for example, a herbal product, say any tailor, okay, I'm preparing some particular herbal preparation, so it will have the name as a heading. It will have the definition, it will include its packaging, storage conditions, what are the labeling requirements if I'm producing the particular drug, what are the labeling requirements, or if I'm even producing only my API. Like pharmaceutical, paracetamol is just an API, right? अगर मैं उसको क्रोसिन बनाती हूँ तो वो मेरा final drug substance, drug formula मेरा हो जाता है. But if I'm producing only paracetamol, then it should have all the labeling requirements on the final container when I'm selling it to my client who's going to actually use the API to produce a drug or the medicine that we are going to consume. It should have all the it will have all the specifications, your monograph. It will also have a list of tests, what kind of tests I need to carry out on the particular for the particular ingredient. Then detailed procedures for all the tests and acceptance criteria. Sorry, which will mean that जितने भी tests मुझे carry out करने हैं to identify whether that particular API is present in my final drug, वो सारे tests monograph देता है, and it will also give us the acceptance criteria, like उसका limit कितना है. It could be 0.15 ppm or it could be 1.5 mg or whatever it is. ठीक है, ये सारे criteria monograph में रहेगा. कितने type के tests में carry out करूँ, मैं HPLC करूँ तो मुझे क्या results आने चाहिए to know whether this API is present in my drug. For example, मेरे पास एक मेडिसिन है, क्रोसिन है, उसमें मेरा API क्या है, पैरासिटामोल है, इट्स अ पेन किलर. So I want to identify whether this drug is actually having having the paracetamol or not. So I'll go open the pharmacopoeia, I will search for paracetamol, I will get a monograph which will contain n number of lists. HPLC करना है तो HPLC कैसे करना है, क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, उसका रिजल्ट क्या आना चाहिए, वो भी फार्माकोपिया में रहेगा. TLC करूँ तो कैसे करूँ, वो सब उसमें टेस्ट रहते हैं. एंड ऑल्सो अलॉन्ग विद द एक्सेप्टेंस क्राइटेरिया कि कितने लिमिट में होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. Monographs also contain the information on the description of the drugs, which will mean their formulation, their composition, their ring structure, the molecular weight, the analytic composition, physical constants, the chemical properties which are going to be used in the identification. Then, okay, Vikas, standards for strength, purity, then dosage, kitna dosage hona chahiye, uska molecular formula, and its IUPAC name, especially as far as only chemicals are concerned. IUPAC name is very important. Okay? So all these things are going to be enlisted in your monograph in your pharmacopoeia. This is an example, a sample monograph that I have given you guys just for reference. So if you see, there is D-panthenol and there is paracetamol. So this monograph belongs to, if you see in the right, okay, because right corner में अगर तुम देखोगे top corner में it is written IP 2007, which means this monograph belongs to the Indian Pharmacopoeia of 2007 edition. ठीक है, उसमें paracetamol वाला monograph अगर देखोगे तो they have given the structure, ring structure, they have given the molecular weight, its chemical formula, उन्होंने उसका IUPAC नाम भी दिया है paracetamol का, और they have given everything, the description, like how it looks, it's white crystal और crystalline powder होता है या amorphous है, उन्होंने सब mention किया है. उसका identification कैसे करना है, they have enlisted tests A, B, C, D. Okay, this is just a gist of the monograph that is given. अगर डी पैंथेनॉल का देखेंगे तो उन्होंने उसका रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स भी दिया हुआ है, हेवी मेटल्स के बारे में बताया जो डी पैंथेनॉल में हो सकते हैं. द एसे wherein we carry out HPLC or something like that, and how to store it. कि उन्होंने सब मोनोग्राफ में मेंशन ये किया हुआ है. जहां पे स्पेसिफिकेशंस चाहिए उस पर्टिकुलर मोनोग्राफ में वो पर्टिकुलर स्पेसिफिकेशन रहेगा. ऑलराइट, दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मोनोग्राफ्स. Now, what is the importance of pharmacopoeias? Why do we need a pharmacopoeia? ऐसी बुक की जरूरत ही क्या है? To maintain uniformity and control the standard of drugs available in the market. For example, मेरा एक कंपनी है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे मैं तन्वी फार्मास्यूटिकल्स प्रोड्यूस कर रही हूँ. ओके, सो मैं अपने हिसाब से I'm just making certain drugs and I'm selling it in the market, and there is someone else who is producing drugs as well, but वो उसके हिसाब से उनके drugs बना रहे. There is no particular book or any standards they are following. We're just making drugs and selling it in the market. वो दोनों ड्रग्स हमारे, मैं भी क्रोसिन, मैं भी एक पेन किलर बेच रही हूँ, वो भी एक पेन किलर बेच रहा है. तो इज इट नेसेसरी, ऐसा होगा क्या कि हम मेरे जो ड्रग्स है, मैं जो मेडिसिन बेच रही हूँ, वो जो मेडिसिन बेच रहे हैं वो सेम होने वाले हैं क्या, यूनिफॉर्म होने वाले हैं क्या? ऐसे हो सकता है कि मेरे में एक्सिपिएंट कम है, एपीआई ज्यादा है, तो इट इज मोर हैविंग अ मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर इफेक्ट ऑन द बॉडी, बट जो दूसरे कंपनी का बेच रहे हैं उनके इसमें एक्सिपिएंट ज्यादा गिर रहा है और एपीआई है ही नहीं, तो उनके ड्रग का कुछ इफेक्ट ही नहीं हो रहा है बॉडी पे या एडवर्स इफेक्ट हो रहा है बॉडी पे. So there is no uniformity in both the companies selling the same kind of painkiller. So that is why to have a uniformity and a standard of drugs that are produced in the market for the ultimate consumption of the recipient or the patient, we need to have a standard of books, which is your pharmacopoeia. ठीक है, विच व्हेन वी रेफर, हम जिसको रेफर करके हम ड्रग्स बनाएंगे, उसका टेस्टिंग करेंगे, तब हम इंश्योर कर सकते हैं कि हाँ, हम, मैंने भी और जो मेरे दूसरे कॉम्पिटिटर कंपनी ने भी जो ड्रग मार्केट में बेच रहे हैं, इट इज यूनिफॉर्म एंड इट इज हैविंग अ पर्टिकुलर स्टैंडर्ड. ठीक है, अगर तुम ये ड्रग्स लोगे हमारे, क्योंकि हमने उसको फार्माकोपिया से फॉलो करके किया है, इट इज गोइंग टू हैव द, इट इज गोइंग टू बी यूनिफॉर्म. अगर मेरा ड्रग साइड इफेक्ट दे रहा है तो उसका ड्रग भी साइड इफेक्ट देगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट. ओके, Next is to avoid unadulterated drugs. See, we are very much aware कि food is being adulterated a lot. ठीक है, milk adulterate होता है, spices adulterate होता है, then you have your oils, you have your ghee. These food products are getting adulterated and we are very much aware of that. But even drugs can get adulterated. Okay, some unwanted, when you have every drug, every medicine that comes in the market, uska ek standardized content रहता है. Okay, जो हर कंपनी को फॉलो करना पड़ता है. Okay, so अगर मैं उसमें कुछ कम ज्यादा मिला दूं, या मैं I put something else only which is not mentioned in the monograph of that particular drug, that will be said, it would be said that I'm adulterating the drug. ठीक है. So अगर for example मेरे पास जो listed excipient दिया है monograph में वो नहीं है, but मुझे मेरा production continue रखना है, तो मैं क्या करूंगी, उसका या तो substitute add कर दूंगी जो mentioned नहीं है monograph में, and I will end up adulterating my drug. Okay, so to avoid unadulterated drugs, we need to follow a pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia is also a reference tool for labs, for industries, and for academic institutions. हम हमारे lab में भी when we carry out, तुमको सिखाया जाएगा प्रैक्टिकल्स के टाइम पे, हम जब HPLC, TLC ये सब assays करते हैं, जब tests हम carry out करते हैं, we do not blindly just mix something and do something. We always follow the monograph since those are standardized tests. So the pharmacopoeia acts as a reference tool even for academic institutions who are carrying out those experiments as a practical. ठीक है. इंडस्ट्री में भी जब कंपनी को भी ड्रग बनाना होता है, वो भी फार्माकोपिया ही रेफर करता है. एंड इवन we have the public testing laboratories who are going to test your samples, your drugs and everything for QA/QC purposes. So they also, उनका भी reference एक pharmacopoeia ही होता है. And to provide complete information on drugs and their dosage form. So this book is publicly available to people. So if we also want to know कि हमें हमारा consumer awareness भी अगर बढ़ाना है, so it is available for us also, and it is going to provide us complete information on the drugs and their dosages form, that since we are going to consume them, हमें भी पता होना चाहिए ना कि भाई हम जो ड्रग खा रहे हैं, पी रहे हैं, उसमें क्या क्या है. तो it is the pharmacopoeia is going to give you the entire information which is useful for you as well as for the academic institutions, industries and laboratories. Okay, so this was all about pharmacopoeia, pharmacopoeial standards and monograph so far. आगे बढ़ते हैं. The first type of pharmacopoeia that we are going to study is the Indian pharmacopoeia. The Indian pharmacopoeia is basically referred to all over the country. Since it's Indian pharmacopoeia, हम Indians ही उसको refer करते हैं mostly. So जितने भी हमारे country में homegrown medicines जो हम बोलते हैं या generic tablets हम जो बोलते हैं, वो सब Indian pharmacopoeia को refer करके हम बनाते हैं. And whatever tests we carry out, say in our lab or in public testing laboratories or the industries that are Indian based or based in India, वो सब IP को follow करेंगे. That is your Indian pharmacopoeia. This is how Indian pharmacopoeia looks like. This is a 2018 version, which is the latest version of Indian pharmacopoeia, and it is divided into volumes, which I will be telling you all in the further point. So in India, under the Drug and Cosmetics Act 1940, the current edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia is a book of standards for drugs included therein, and the standards as included in the Indian Pharmacopoeia would be official. So basically, it is the Indian Pharmacopoeia comes under the Drug and Cosmetic Act of 1940, and it is basically a book of standards for drugs. So it is published by the IPC. IPC का full form है Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and published on behalf of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. IPC का definition PPT में नहीं दिया हुआ है, so please note it down. IPC का full form क्या है? Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. Net पे भी definitely मिल जाएगा, but if you write it down, याद रहेगा. The first edition was published in 1868. The latest is 2018. IB prescribes the standards for drugs produced and or marketed in India and thus contributes in the control and assurance of the quality of the medicines. तो हम लोग हमारे कंट्री में जो भी प्रोड्यूस या मार्केट होते हैं ड्रग्स उस सब के लिए स्टैंडर्ड्स आईपी प्रिस्क्राइब करता है for what to for QC and QA of the medicines, that is to control and assure the quality of the medicines. The standards of Indian pharmacopoeia are authoritative and legally enforceable. It is a since it's a, we have already aware that it is a legal document, so it is legally enforceable. Okay, you are legally bound or obligated to follow the Indian pharmacopoeia. The standards of they are authoritative and legally enforceable. It intends to help in the licensing of manufacturing, inspection, and distribution of medicines. IP 2018 is the latest version of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. It has been brought out in 4 volumes. So there are 4 volumes incorporating along with the existing monographs. They have added 220 new monographs, out of which there are 170 chemical monographs, 15 herbal monographs, 10 blood and blood related products. Monographs 4. Then 2 monographs for vaccines and immunosera for human use, 3 monographs for radiopharmaceuticals, 6 monographs for biotechnology derived therapeutic products, 14 monographs for veterinary, though means those pharmaceutical products which are used for animals, 366 revised monographs and 7 omissions. So they have omitted 7 monographs in the latest current version of Indian Pharmacopoeia. All right, that was about the Indian Pharmacopoeia and the functions of IPC. IPC, like I had said, is the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. So the Indian Pharmacopoeia is published by IPC. ठीक है, तो IPC के और functions क्या होते हैं? To develop comprehensive monographs for drugs to be included in the pharmacopoeia, including API, excipients and dosage forms, as well as medicinal devices, and keep them updated on regular basis. So along with your APIs, your excipients, and all your drugs and chemical substances, the Indian Pharmacopoeia also has monographs for the medicinal devices that we use for, say, probably diagnostic purposes or for treatment purposes and stuff. And also they have to keep updating the monographs on a regular basis, because with time there are certain additions or certain deletions. So IPC क्या करेगा, regular basis पे उसको सारी चीजों को study करके monographs को update करते रहेंगे. तो जैसे जैसे monograph update होते हैं या नए monographs add करने होते हैं, so a new version of the Indian Pharmacopoeia comes out. Next is to prepare monographs for products that have normally been in the market for not less than 2 years, except for certain categories of new drugs like antivirals, anti-TB, anti-cancer drugs. So they have to prepare the monographs for the drugs जो 2 साल से कम में ना हो, मतलब 2 साल से ज्यादा हो गया उन products को या drugs को market में आके, उनके मोनोग्राफ्स वो आईपी में ऐड कर देंगे. लेकिन कुछ ड्रग्स ऐसे होते हैं, लाइक देयर आर न्यू ड्रग्स लाइक antivirals. If suppose a new drug comes out for any particular disease and it is very effective at the time being, so they will quickly add that monograph in the IP. Same goes for anti-TB and anti-cancer drugs. To give special attention to the methods of manufacturing used by indigenous industries in selecting pharmaceutical tests for monitoring toxic impurities of the drug concerned. So there are certain indigenous industries which will have selective tests for monitoring impurities, toxic impurities of the drug. So उस सब के भी जो monographs होते हैं, जो मोनोग्राफ्स वगैरह होते हैं, उनके जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग मेथड्स होते हैं, वो सब भी आईपीसी को ध्यान रखना पड़ता है, एंड दे हैव टू अपडेट इट अकॉर्डिंग, दे हैव टू अपडेट द मोनोग्राफ अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट. Next is to accord priority to monographs of drugs included in the National Essential Medicines list and their dosage form. So they have to, see, again, if you ever come across the pharmacopoeia, अगर तुमको online PDF मिलता है, तो it is always arranged in alphabetical order. ठीक है? So they have to give priority to those medicines जो national essential medicines का list होता है उसमें add हुआ है. तो जो भी उस लिस्ट में ड्रग्स है या सब्सटेंसेस है, दे हैव टू add those substances to the pharmacopoeia. अगर कुछ certain drugs या substances, chemical substances है जो उस लिस्ट में नहीं है, तो they may or they may not add it to the pharmacopoeia. But those substances or drugs which are enlisted in the list of the national essential medicines, they have to prioritize it and add those in the pharmacopoeia along with their dosage forms. To collaborate with pharmacopoeias like the EP, BP, USP, DP, International Pharmacopoeia, with a view of harmonizing with global standards. Okay, you guys have to stop annotating in the middle. ठीक है, I'll have to मुझे वो बंद करना पड़ेगा, I think option. All right. So the IPC has to collaborate with other pharmacopoeias as well, okay, like the US pharmacopoeia, the British pharmacopoeia, the Japanese pharmacopoeia, the international pharmacopoeia. तो उनके साथ they have to be in a collaboration and ऐसे उनको standards देने पड़ते हैं जो are almost close to those pharmacopoeias, ठीक है. So it will harmonize global standards of those drugs, which will also help or reduce the issues or obstacles that come across in export and import of drugs. Next is to organize educational programs and research activities for spreading and establishing awareness on the need and scope of quality standards for drugs and related articles or material. So IPC has to also organize educational programs so that academic institutions also are aware of that these pharmacopoeias even exist, okay, and in turn research activities so that we know that we should know that what kind of standard or quality standard of drugs we're actually consuming. Okay. All right, the previous slide was concerned with just a few functions of IPC. I have enlisted very few functions of IPC. If you want, you can definitely check out on the net and add it to your notes or whatever. Next is the process of IP monographs development. So how is your monograph in the Indian Pharmacopoeia comes to its development? So I'm just going to tell you it in a very short way. The IPC, like the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, they will have a scientific body which basically approves items that are to be enlisted in the pharmacopoeia. Okay, then there is a liaison between the two which will actually review everything. Then they have a website. We have an Indian Pharmacopoeia website. They will display all of those things that need the monograph that needs to be developed, something needs to be deleted or added. They'll put it on the website, okay, so that the public can review it. The public as in the people who are going to actually refer to it. So the industrialists, the industries who are going to refer to it, academic institutions. So there are certain authorities or people at that level who are going to review those monographs or review the particular changes or whatever is going to be done in the monograph. Then whatever public comments are received, so certain person will say ki, ye bhi add karo, someone will say ki iski zarurat nahi hai, someone will say this test is going to be very expensive or something like that. So whatever comments are there, they're going to be received, okay. Then after that, what happens is an expert committee review, okay. They will respond to the liaison, okay, to the scientific staff liaison, and they will tell them that, see, the public are commenting like this, what to do now. Then what the liaison will do, they will compile and they will analyze all the comments, like they will filter the comments definitely, and according to that they will decide if any further revision is required. So further revision required as in what, the scientific staff or the scientific body which is going to approve for the IP, they will have people जो actually उन comments को review करेंगे. They will decide कि भाई हमको changes करने हैं क्या monograph में कि नहीं करने हैं. So if they feel that further revision is required, as in they are going to make any changes in the monograph, depending on the comments they receive, वो सारे changes करेंगे उस monograph में. वो फिर उनको सबको वो लोग display करेंगे ठीक है, and again the comments are going to be received. So from here the IPC scientific staff liaison compile and analyze the comments. Further revision is needed. So again, they will do what? They will again display all the comments on their website, and again they will put it. Again they will put it on the website, and again they will get some public comments. Okay, if they feel that there is no further revision required, the proposal will be accepted and it will be published. So if a particular how it happens is कि जब अगर वो मोनोग्राफ सबने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है तो उसको वो लोग फार्माकोपिया वाले IPC will publish that particular monograph in the Indian Pharmacopoeia. After that, once they publish it in the Indian Pharmacopoeia, they will get the feedback from all the stakeholders, and again they will get some comments. Because that's how the entire process goes about. It's a very long process. It definitely takes a lot of time. That is why each time a monograph is developed, उसको तुरंत वो लोग add नहीं करते हैं. Because एक time पे एक monograph तो update नहीं होता है. There are many monographs that get updated or many monographs that get outdated and they need to update that, make changes. So साल, 2 साल, 3-4 साल में we get another edition of the pharmacopoeia. All right. This is just a gist. You do not have to study in a lot of depth in it. Okay. Just for your knowledge, how it exactly works or what are the things that are involved in the development of a monograph. Okay. All right. So what is the objective of developing a monograph is creation of compilation of standards that reflects the state of the industry in the country, production and the testing capabilities of units that are varying in size. See, that it's not just that there are large scale industries producing pharmaceutical products or something like that. There are very small units as well. So they need to come up with a monograph having tests that are going to be carried out, or even the small units are capable of carrying out those tests in their small facilities, as well as the large facilities or large units or industries are also able to carry out the same kind of testing in that facility. Okay. Then in the development process, recommendations of the drug licensing authorities are also taken into account, because ultimately जो भी ड्रग मार्केट में आता है वो एक ड्रग लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी से ही आता है, तो उनके भी कुछ रिकमेंडेशंस वो लोग कंसिडर करते हैं, सजेशंस जो होते हैं उसको वो कंसिडर करेंगे. Then a regular upgradation of monographs, but consistent with the level and degree of sophistication acceptable to the majority of manufacturers. So see, ultimately manufacturers का ही end review होता है, because if a monograph में जो भी दिया हुआ है, अगर मैन्युफैक्चरर को लगता है ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, ये बहुत एक्सपेंसिव हो जाएगा एंड ये सब बहुत सारे ऑब्स्टैकल्स है, so they will tell the IPC that see this is the issue and ऐसे है, तो उसके according IPC has to come up with upgrading the monograph, or they have to upgrade the monograph, or they don't need to upgrade the monograph. So whatever upgradation happens, it has to be consistent, but with the level and degree of sophistication. यानी कि इतना भी वो उसको अपडेट नहीं कर सकते हैं मोनोग्राफ को. फॉर एग्जांपल कोई टेस्ट उन्होंने अपडेट कर दिया किसी पर्टिकुलर ड्रग के लिए या सब्सटेंस के लिए, उन्होंने उसको इतना एडवांस कर दिया है उस टेस्ट को कि मैन्युफैक्चरर्स वो टेस्ट परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो अगर मैन्युफैक्चरर वो टेस्ट परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर पाएगा तो वो आगे फाइनल प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में लेकर कैसे आएगा. सो the upgradation has to take place, but it has to also take place with the level which is acceptable by the majority of manufacturers. ऐसे भी नहीं है कि बड़े बड़े इंडस्ट्रीज ने बोल दिया हाँ ठीक है, we can afford it, हम लोग कर लेंगे, and छोटे यूनिट्स बेचारे रह गए. So it has to be a majority. Okay. Next is retention of simple tests where complicated methods offer no advantage. अगर कोई टेस्ट कैरी आउट करना है और उसका बहुत ही सिंपल सा मेथड है, 4 स्टेप्स में अगर मुझे रिजल्ट आ रहा है, तो why would I take a test which is having 12 steps and it is very complicated, right? So IBC का कंसिडर ये भी करता है कि वो easy tests रखे and simple tests रखे instead of going for complicated methods which is ultimately going to give me the same result. No compromise on limitation of toxic impurities, right? हम लोग जो भी ड्रग कंज्यूम करेंगे, we do not want it to have any kind of impurities. तो वो लोग उसके लिमिटेशन में कॉम्प्रोमाइज करेंगे ही नहीं. कम से कम लिमिट रखेंगे वो लोग कि उतने इम्प्योरिटीज रहे 0.0 समथिंग समथिंग, ठीक है. So they are not going to compromise on limiting the toxic impurities present in the final drug product, be it any formulation. Next is the test methods need to be robust since they are intended to be used in a wide range of labs. Robust का मतलब क्या होता है? It should be in such a way that अगर मैं अगर उन्होंने एक टेस्ट दिया है मोनोग्राफ में एंड आई एम कैरिंग इट आउट इन आवर कॉलेज लेबोरेटरी एंड उन्होंने बहुत सारे स्पेसिफिकेशंस दिए हैं कि टेम्परेचर ऐसा होना चाहिए, ह्यूमिडिटी इतनी होनी चाहिए, एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशंस ऐसे होने चाहिए, मोबाइल फेस ऐसे ही बनना चाहिए. आई एम डूइंग HPLC, तो मोबाइल फेस हैज टू बी लाइक दिस ओनली. एन नंबर ऑफ उन्होंने क्राइटेरिया दिए हुए हैं, कंडीशंस दिए हुए हैं, एंड इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो कंडीशंस मैं इमिटेट करूं हमारे लैब में. ओके, इट इज वेरी मच पॉसिबल कि ह्यूमिडिटी थोड़ा यहाँ आ जाएगा, टेम्परेचर ठंडी या गर्मी जैसे भी उनको चाहिए थोड़ा 19-20 हो जाएगा. सो अ रोबस्ट मेथड इज गोइंग टू बी दैट काइंड ऑफ मेथड कि जिसमें अगर मैं थोड़ा सा ऊंच नीच करूं मेथड में या कंडीशंस में, नॉट इन द मेथड, इन द कंडीशंस, तो भी मुझे रिजल्ट्स आए, रिप्रोड्यूसिबल रिजल्ट्स मुझे आए. दैट इज व्हाट योर रोबस्ट मेथड और रोबस्ट टेस्ट मीन्स. So that even if the temperature is, suppose for example the temperature should be at 48 degrees Celsius and मेरे lab में 47 degrees Celsius है, okay, even then the technique, the method or the test should take place and it should give me the same kind of or similar kind of results. That's what a robust method or test is. Next is finalizing of a monograph takes place after comments on the test methods and limit of acceptance are agreed to by the users and upon approval of by the licensing authorities. So जैसा हमने पहले previous slide में भी देखा कि जो final monograph जो आता है, for example they're updating the test methods. जो भी monograph वो लोग अपडेट करने हैं, उस करने वाले हैं उसमें टेस्ट मेथड अपडेट कर रहे हैं या चेंजेस कर रहे हैं, उसमें वो तभी फाइनलाइज होगा जब जो यूजर्स है, जिसकी इंडस्ट्री हो गए, उन्होंने अगर अग्री किया कि हाँ ठीक है ये चेंज अगर कर रहे हैं, द लिमिट ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस इज आल्सो फाइन, ओनली देन दैट मोनोग्राफ इज गोइंग टू गेट फाइनलाइज्ड एंड इट्स गोइंग टू गेट पब्लिश्ड. इफ द यूजर्स फील कि डूड नहीं हो सकता, ये थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर इशू हो रहा है, so they will not finalize the monograph until and unless the changes whatever happen in that monograph are agreed by the end users and also by the licensing authorities. Next is the test methods are usually provided by the manufacturers and the users. It is expected to be suitable, validated, robust and reproducible. तो जो भी monograph में ultimately जो test methods जाते हैं, they are given by the मैन्युफैक्चरर्स, ठीक है. तो जो ड्रग प्रोड्यूस करता है वो उस पे जो भी टेस्ट करते हैं, उस पे टेस्ट कैसे करना है, उसका जो भी प्रोटोकॉल रहता है वो एक मैन्युफैक्चरर प्रोवाइड करता है आईपीसी को. डेफिनेटली इट हैज टू बी वैलिडेटेड, इट हैज टू बी रिप्रोड्यूसिबल, इट हैज टू बी रोबस्ट, ओनली देन इट गेट्स पब्लिश्ड इन द pharmacopoeia. The test methods are described in a clear language and in sufficient details that can be followed by a trained analyst. ठीक है, एकदम क्लियर लैंग्वेज में रहता है, एकदम कट टू कट रहता है. a monograph, you will never come across a monograph which is going to be so full and एकदम कचपच, ऐसे कभी नहीं रहेगा. It's going to be very edge to edge, very cut to cut. 2 ml H2SO4, 4 ml HCl. This is how it is going to be. They will not tell you take 2 ml of HCl, put it in a beaker, and then you add 4 ml of H2SO4, मिक्स इट थॉरली. ये सब कुछ नहीं रहता. जैसे कि हमारा केमिस्ट्री स्टूडेंट्स में भी नोइंग कि उनके जो हैंडआउट्स होते हैं, हैंडबुक रहता है, उसमें वो लोग कितने डिटेल में देते हैं ना हर प्रोटोकॉल, बट ऐसा फार्माकोपिया में नहीं होता है. इट इज वेरी कट टू कट एंड वेरी क्लियर. ओके, सो व्हाई? So that any trained analyst is able to read it and is going to follow the same. Okay, all right. Next is the pharmacopoeia also contains general monographs for herbs, processed herbs and herbal products. So far we were just talking about modern drugs and pharmaceutical products, but Indian pharmacopoeia also has monographs for herbal products, for processed herbs. It is having SOPs, that is standard operating procedures for preparation of monographs, herbal extracts, तुमने मैम ने शायद पढ़ाया होगा तुम लोगों को कि पर्टिकुलर, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल आंवला हो गया, एवरीबॉडी नोज आंवला राइट, इंडियन गूसबेरी। तो उसमें से अगर मुझे कुछ एक्सट्रैक्शन करना है, मुझे उसका पाउडर निकालना है, सब प्रोसेस करके, तो हाउ डू आई डू दैट? उसका भी एक पर्टिकुलर मोनोग्राफ है जिसमें उन्होंने सब दिया हुआ है कि कैसे करना है। ओके, इफ आई वांट टू किसी हर्बल प्रिपरेशन मुझे बनानी है, जिसकी मुझे अगर किसी चीज का ऑयल निकालना है, तो मैं उसको कैसे बनाऊं, कैसे निकालूं, उस सबका वो लोग मोनोग्राफ में प्रोवाइड किया जाता है। And also it gives you steps for the identification of herbal materials. ठीक है, if I just get something from the market or just wild something from the forest, जंगल से मैं कुछ उठा कर लेकर आई, and I want, मुझे पता ही नहीं कि ये क्या है, so I need to identify the material, right, like what it is. So I can refer to the pharmacopoeia and I can identify what exactly it is. ठीक है, so that's what the pharmacopoeia is going to help. We are talking about the Indian pharmacopoeia as of now. Determination of ash values, extractive values, LOD, that is loss on drying, contaminant determination. अगर मेरे पास कुछ herbal product है या मैं कुछ herbal material, raw material लेकर आई हूँ, powders or just loose powders or something, I need to check whether they are contaminated with something. They're contaminated with microorganisms or they're contaminated with some other particles or something like that. और किसी और powder का contamination है, तो उसमें वो लोग प्रोसीजर्स देंगे कि हाउ डू आई डिटरमाइन और डिटेक्ट द कंटामिनेंट्स आर प्रेजेंट इन माय प्रोडक्ट और इन माय रॉ मटेरियल. देन एनालिसिस ऑफ फाइटोकॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स बाय टीएलसी, एचपीएलसी, एचपीटीएलसी. ठीक है, फाइटोकॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स क्या होते हैं? जो हमारे प्लांट्स में जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स होते हैं, दोज आर कॉल्ड योर फाइटोकॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स. तो अगर मेरे पास एक पर्टिकुलर प्लांट है, मैंने उसका एक्सट्रैक्ट निकाल लिया, आई वांट टू एनालाइज कि इसमें क्या क्या फाइटोकॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स है. So they will give me, the monograph is going to provide you with n number of tests, like how you can detect it by TLC, that is thin layer chromatography, by HPLC or by HPTLC. Then analysis of essential oils by GC, that is gas chromatography. अगर मेरे पास कुछ एक्सट्रैक्ट है and if it is containing some oils, essential oils, मैंने फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक प्लांट ले लिया, उसका रूट ले लिया एंड मैंने उसका ऑयल एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया, इट कुड बी एनीथिंग. आई नीड टू एनालाइज द एसेंशियल ऑयल्स व्हिच आर प्रेजेंट इन दैट, so I will go for gas chromatography. Or if I'm having some volatile substances, I will go for gas chromatography. So कैसे करना है उसका सारा मेथड मोनोग्राफ में डिटेल में दिया होगा. So you have to just follow that monograph and you have to carry out the experiment. Okay. All right. IP तक clear है. I think next is British Pharmacopoeia, right? IP तक सबको clear है? Any doubts so far? बोलो. You can unmute and you can speak. अरे कोई तो बोलो. Is it clear? यहाँ तक हमने जितना पढ़ा, फार्माकोपियल स्टैंडर्ड्स, इंडियन फार्माकोपिया, सब क्लियर है? किसी को कोई डाउट है?
All clear, ma'am.
Okay, anybody else having any doubt? या कुछ समझा नहीं है किसी को, ऐसे कोई है? सबको सब समझा है? Okay, no doubts? पक्का? So we can stop here. Okay. So today's session was clear, right? किसी को कोई doubts नहीं है? सबको सब समझा है? हमने बहुत basic था, बहुत self-explanatory था. Pharmacopoeial standards and Indian pharmacopoeia. Anyone wants to discuss anything?